Hey, welcome to the Book and His Boss. I'm Pat Caputo. Jeff Kuhn is not here today, but look what we got. We got the real American Idol. Forget about that David Cook guy or whatever, or that Archuleta guy. This is the real American Idol, the man who's usually behind the camera, that sports copy editor and videographer, Jim, the real American Idol Martinez.
Yeah, I got robbed on American Idol.
There you go. You got jobbed. Michigan football doesn't get jobbed, but the real American Idol got jobbed. But anyway, busy week, even though the Red Wings are done and all that. Started out with Michael Curry being named as the Pistons coach. Jim, what are your thoughts on Michael Curry?
I like it. I think overall it might be the plan was rushed a little bit by the failure of Flip Saunders, and I think Joe had a plan to kind of bring in Curry a couple years down the road, but when Saunders fizzled, he had no, he felt he had no choice. It was an underwhelming class of coaches, I think, out there, being that we already went the Larry Brown route. I think it just kind of sped up Joe's plan.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody that was obvious. There wasn't a Larry Brown like there was that year. Avery Johnson had many of the same problems that Flip Saunders did. So I think they're either going to hit the jackpot with Michael Curry. This is what I wrote in my column about it this week in the Oakland Press. Or they're going to end up with a situation where it's a bust. I don't think there's really any in between with this.
Yeah, I read an interesting parallel with the Red Wings. We had an article today, and it was talking about a conversation between Babcock and Kenny Holland when Babcock was coaching for the Cincinnati in the AHL, and he said, "When can I coach the Wings?" And basically, according to the article, he said, "It'll be your second stop," and I hope that isn't the case with Curry, because I believe in him. I trust Joe. Seems like Curry's really got his stuff together, and I think he's probably going to be a good coach. I just hope it's not on a second stop versus his first.
Yeah, the other thing too, Rasheed Wallace, I don't care if he was at the press conference, he's got to go. I've always backed Rasheed Wallace, love his game, a lot of different things, but you have two meltdowns like that in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's two words for it: time. Well, it's time. Yeah. It is time, actually 3 words. So. If you really want to get into detail. But, yeah, those are the circumstances with that. I think it's time for Rasheed Wallace to go.
I think 2 of the 4 main starters have to go just to change the attitude of that team. I don't know if there's been a more frustrating championship team, in my opinion, to watch. Beating the Lakers for their title was so unexpected. You almost didn't have the chance to enjoy it for that year. And, they really never recovered from big shot Robert Horry hitting that shot, and it was a Game 6.
And Rasheed Wallace should have had him on that. But no, I always liked Rasheed Wallace's game. But at these meltdowns, even if he does everything right, and if he endorses the coach, well, you wouldn't play because of the coach, he's not the one that should be making that decision, even in a player-driven league such as the NBA. The Tigers have started to win some games other than the Dontrell Willis game. As we tape this right now, they've won 4 out of 5. They pulled within a reasonable facsimile of getting back in it. The schedule, they play a lot of losing teams after the Dodgers. They play the Padres, Giants, Mariners, Twins. All these teams have sub-500 records except the Cardinals, and they lost Albert Pujols and Adam Wainwright to the DL. So all of a sudden the Tigers look like they're in a position where they might be able to do something as bad as they've been.
Yeah, I think this is the stretch right here where you either make your run or then you decide whether you're going to have a wholesale changes or be a seller versus a buyer at the trade deadline. I think the time is now, and hopefully they turn it around. But they've just been snake bitten this year, it seems.
Yeah, it's been kind of bizarre, but I think even losing Bonderman, Willis obviously is not going to contribute much. Baseball seasons take on a weird dynamic. Just when you think they're done, all of a sudden they can. And I did research on this, 13.5 games behind. That's what the Florida Marlins were in 2003. 11.5 games behind the Twins were in 2006, behind the Tigers, and ended up winning the division. So it's not over, and it's really not, as odd as that may seem. And they're only 6.5 games out of second place in the wild card spot, and Tampa Bay is leading the wild card spot. You figure at some point, and they're 9 games behind them, the Tampa Bay might fade. So Tigers season not done. Have some faith.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Mike Babcock, 3-year contract extension. No surprise there. Terrific job for the Red Wings. Their future's as bright as their past, it seems.
Yeah, I think they obviously have to be the team to beat, and I don't think anyone would be shocked if they get one of the next 2 cups. again, it's just, coach hitting his stride. He's going to have that Stanley Cup cachet, and he already had, I think, such a presence with the players, you could tell. And you've talked about before in the past the balance they have. That team, what a franchise.
Yeah, it's been terrific. But anyway, enjoy doing the book and his boss. Don't forget to check out the OaklandPress.com. Go to Blog Central at MICentral.com and go to Blog Central. Jim Hawkins does a terrific baseball blog. Dave Burkett, who covers the Lions for us, does a terrific Lions blog and some Big Ten stuff. Bruce McLeod's Red Wings blog is there. He covers the Red Wings for us from the Macomb Daily, and also Paula Passioner, Big Ten Insider. And don't forget the Scooter. Dana Garuder does a great job with the Pistons, and he's got a terrific blog.
And he's going to be busy this summer.
Yeah, check out my audio podcast, too, at the OaklandPress.com and MICentral.com. Again, you can get to that at Blog Central. Jeff Kuhn will be back next week. This man will be behind the camera, the real American Idol. We thought we'd trot him out here this week. I'm Pat Caputo. Till next week, we'll see you.